The meta has been the same for more than a year now, and people have been complaining about how boring it's gotten to use the same guns over and over again. Although with the balance changes from the past seasons, you can use almost 50% of the weapons in the game, and today we're gonna talk about the 5 underrated guns you can use. As always, all the stats mentioned are from the recommended Gunsmith builds. We got the AGR 556 as the first weapon on this list, with it being kind of a CBR4 2.0. It has about 20 meters of 4-shot kill range, great mobility, with a strafe speed faster than a typical CBR4 build. The ADS time is slightly slower than the CBR4. The AGR is worse with less bullets and a slower reload speed. The recoil pattern is also not as good as the CBR4, and the fire rate is a bit slower, which makes the time to kill for the same shot to kill value slower than the CBR4. If it was way better than the CBR4, of course we'd use it and rank it as number 1. But it still is a great choice if you're bored of using the CBR4. If you want a more aggressive weapon but you've had enough of using the Fennec, the QQ9 or the SX9, then you could try the Lapa. It has 17 meters of 4-shot kill, which means a time to kill of 240 milliseconds, but most importantly, it can 3-shot kill, giving you a nice 160 milliseconds of time to kill up to 10 meters. If you can hit a headshot, then hit shots in the chest, the arms, or head. It's not something that you can rely on often, but it can happen more than expected in close range. One of the best things about the Lapa, apart from its damages, is the insane strafe speed it has, with about 4.8 milliseconds without Skulker, which would allow you to ADS walk almost every time. But every weapon has an issue with the Lapa having bullet speed, which could make it quite inconsistent because of the desync it can produce due to the low bullet speed value, and of course the bullet velocity reduces the time to kill at longer ranges. One last thing, compared to the other best CQC SMGs, the fire rate is way slower, which makes it harder to use in close range. Now we're going to talk about some AR, starting with the ASM-10. It's known as one of the 3 famous 3-shot meta, having 10 meters of 3-shot kill, which would be a 220 milliseconds time to kill, and 38 meters of 4-shot kill, which means 330 milliseconds of time to kill. It also has a great BSA compared to its time to kill. The recoil pattern is easy to control, and the flinch is real low, which makes the ASM-10 reliable at long range. Its main problem, like the Lapa, is that it has a slow fire rate, which makes the tracking really hard, kinda like the UL. The mobility isn't great either, unlike a Kilo that has similar time to kill performances. Another 3-shot, not the ASM-10 or the DRH, it's the EM2. It's got 37 meters of 3-shot kill with a time to kill of 224 milliseconds, which is as fast as a CBR4. It has an incredibly easy to control recoil, a great ADS bullet spread, and really low flinch, which makes it powerful for taking long-range fights. Like the Lapa, its issue is that it has bullet velocity, but it is fast enough to not disturb you as much. It's probably the only weapon in this list which doesn't have a huge problem, apart from the fact that it's meant to be a passive weapon and not everyone will like it. But if you want something that doesn't have much downsides, well, you should enjoy the Peacekeeper. It was the best weapon for barely 2 months, while the CBR4 got nerfed, then buffed, while the Peacekeeper got nerfed, having an absurd strafe speed of around 4.5 meters per second. Well, now we only have 3.74 meters per second, which is still pretty decent. We could even say good. It has no flinch, which is its second huge advantage, and one of the fastest reload speeds out there, but they still aren't enough to be an incredible advantage today. It has about 20 meters of 4-shot kill and 34 meters of 5-shot kill, with a small probability of getting a 4-shot kill. It's overall a great alternative to the CBR4 or the Krig or the Kilo. In fact, it's a great compromise between these 3. You have the mobility of an SMG, specifically its ADS speed and movement speed. You have the time to kill of a Kilo, unless you built your Kilo like it was a marksman rifle, and you have the flexibility of a Krig. Its main problem is its iron sight. Well, if you haven't bought any of the 2 legendary or the mythic, you may have the battle pass skin which has a better iron sight. If you don't have any of these and you can't use the base iron sight because it's too shaky, then you can use a red dot instead of the firm grip tape. But you lose the fast ADS speed and the low flinch. What's your top 3 guns this season? Let us know down in the comments below. Now, these guns aren't the best, but they'll force you to play smarter and really dial in on your aim. You can learn how to get better trigger discipline right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.